Hey everyone, this is the 9th episode I'm doing, I believe, and this is for Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I've kind of been taking a break from this book over the last couple days. I just finished chapter 10. I had started it and now I finished it, so now we're talking about the first 10 chapters. It's been okay. It's interesting. It's not as interesting from the beginning, at least, as other books I've read, so it's kind of been slow to get into. Just a quick summary from basically, I guess, what I knew before I got into this book. First of all, the main reason I'm reading is because it's an Emmy nominee. It talks about this person named Eliza who writes, I guess, like online fantasy, an online fantasy story or something. And then she finds out that a fan fiction writer of her creation goes to her school, who's a new student. I think it would have been better if I didn't know that going into the book, at least the part about the fan fiction writer going to her school. It was just revealed in the book in chapter 10, so I'm glad I didn't have to wait too long, but yeah. I highlighted quotes that I liked in yellow, questions in pink, and comments in green. So I haven't read a perspective in a girl's perspective in a while. I guess that's not really true because I read Sadie, but I feel like, I don't know, I didn't really think about that as much as I'm thinking about it for Eliza and Her Monsters, if that makes any sense. It doesn't really make sense because there's like nothing different between these two characters in terms of like how it's written. They're both written in first tense, first perspective. I think that's the term. Okay, so now I just said this is kind of boring so far. I honestly don't care about the website stuff. So basically, sometimes through the book, it takes a break and it shows you pictures or pages from the fantasy story that Eliza's writing. And I don't really care, so I'm kind of just bored. I haven't skipped any of them yet, but yeah, it's definitely boring. Okay, now I have a quote. I like being invisible, not having someone look at me like I should be. That's very, maybe not profound, but like, I agree with that, Eliza. I can be invisible if you don't bother me and pretend I'm invisible. I'm fine with that, but once you like acknowledge my invisibility, I'm like, excuse me? It's really weird. It's really weird, but yeah, I definitely agree with that. Okay, here's another quote. The very next page. As a weird kid then, and I'm weird now. Except now, neither I nor any of my classmates is under the delusion that we have to interact with each other on a more than superficial basis. So yeah, I think it's also very interesting, like, people that are younger tend to be more honest in general. And I feel like it's both ways. It can go both ways because I feel like people gossip about other people more when they're younger, but they also like in front of the person, they're kind or they're like not straight out mean. I feel like I don't know, but I definitely think as you get older, of course your behavior changes. You change. So yeah, I think maybe because we're all little kids, we're expected, or we feel like we're expected, or that's just our nature to be kind to everybody. But yeah, when you get older, everybody's true rude identity comes out. Okay, here's another relatable line. It says, "There's no answer I can give her that she wants to hear, so I won't give her one at all." We as humans are sometimes empathetic. We lie to make others feel more comfortable. At least I do that. Am I alone? Perhaps. You know what? It's just Eliza, who's a fictional character in me, that feel this way. Um, but I feel like I kind of don't do that. I try to be honest when I can. Of course, I kind of censor myself to a degree, but I try to. I try to. Um, but yeah, there are definitely times when I don't say something because I know that's not what the person's looking for. Not just my mother, like Eliza's talking about, but like Not that people actually ask me anything. I found a word of a day, emasculated, and that's basically when people are become self-conscious basically about their masculinity, something along the lines of that. And then I found another comparison. So basically Wallace is described earlier in the book to look like a football player, and that's the same as the book Symptoms of Being Human. Riley's friend Solo is on the football team. So I just said I read two nominees where the main character's friend could play football, and one of them he actually does, and another one he doesn't, at least so far as we know. Okay, so then I kind of read a cute interaction that Eliza had with her dog, and I said in all caps, I need a dog like the second abandons us. Just kidding about her abandoning us, but not kidding about the dog. I need it now. I need a dog as soon as leaves, because I'm going to be the only one leaves, and that's in less than a year. So cop to it, parents. I know you'll be watching this video eventually, maybe. Probably not. Okay, so and then I found out that Eliza is paying for college through her Monstrous Sea merchandise, and I thought she shouldn't be having to do that. Her parents should take charge of the money for college, because they are her parents, and she should use that money to use it for herself. I mean, she did the work, she might as well get something out of it. Of course, like, college is something out of it, but still, like, something fun that you can get automatically. That doesn't take 4 years, so if that's a fresh pair of new kicks, if that's like a million books, if that's concert tickets, you do you, Eliza. I just don't think you should be doing the you who pays for college through Monstrous Sea merchandise. We're just gonna continue like this. Maybe we should turn on the ring light. Let's turn on the ring light. I'll put it back. Alright. I'm not gonna read this note. I'm just gonna delete it right now. I'll just delete it right now. Ooh. Okay. Then there's something that I relate to, so I just wrote same. This is it. But I feel standing outside the door that I will walk in and give Wallace the papers, then his eyes will skim over me in indifference because he's realized he shouldn't have wasted his time on me. He shouldn't have asked me to read his work because we don't even know each other. Yesterday was a fluke, a bad move on his part. He knows that now. He must. Eliza Burke is no one to nobody. They should make that the headline of the Westcliff Star every day. Eliza Burke, no one to nobody. That's sad, but I kind of relate to it. I personally kind of am extremely scared of what other people's reactions to what I do will be, and if I should have done an action, and I think a lot about how people perceive that action, all that stuff. So I kind of relate to that. We got our first girl audiobook reader for Spirebound Speculation. Not sure who the reader is, but yeah, I started listening to the book with an audiobook on one page, and then the next page I decided to stop because it's way too hard to keep track of the writings that go between Eliza and Wallace and the actual dialogue and the actual like description of the chapters. So yeah, it's way too confusing, so I just decided to stop using that as a way to read the book that far. I'm 25% through, which is not bad. I'll be trying to finish it probably this week or next week. Next week is probably more realistic, considering I'm not really interested that much in the book. I'm gonna return the audiobook right now. Okay, it's done. But yeah, it's going. It's not bad, I guess. It's just like kind of slow to get into, I suppose. I hope it gets more interesting as I go along. I'm looking forward to reading a lot of books instead of this book, so I'll try my best to finish it this week, but maybe I won't, I don't know, or maybe I'll just start another book. The next two books I want to read are Darius the Great Deserves Better, as well as a book called Don't Call Me Crazy, which is short stories by different authors about mental health, I believe. I want to read both of those a lot, certainly more than this book I'm reading right now. I'm going to obviously try to finish Eliza and Her Monsters, but what I may do is start Don't Call Me Crazy simultaneously with reading Eliza and Her Monsters. We will be having more videos for this episode because obviously, I mean, I'm only 10 chapters in and I've only made one video. There'll probably be a bigger space than just 10 chapters from this and the next video, but maybe there won't be. We will see. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. I think I said in the last video that I may not make a video after reading the next 10 chapters. I may make a video before that or make a video after that. I made it after I read 20 chapters. So now we have 20 chapters to discuss. And I'm going to try to discuss those 20 chapters in the same amount of time I discussed 10 chapters, last video, just because I want to keep reading. So we're going to start with chapter 11. I've been taking like frequent notes. I'm not sure how like interesting this video is because like I'm only taking notes and like I need to I'm just questioning all my life choices. That's the gist. I'm guessing that Davy's gonna die. I hope he doesn't, but like it says specifically that Davy's an old dog. Of course, old dogs in books don't always have to die, but me and my pessimistic tendencies think he's gonna die. Sully says that Halloween is for little kids, and then Church says, I thought we were. And that hit home to me. I wish I was a little kid. Okay, now I have a quote again. Do you ever have an idea for a story or a character, or even a line of dialogue or something, and suddenly it seems like the whole world is brighter, like everything opens up and everything makes sense? I feel like that sometimes, like when I have a great idea, I'm just happy, and it was like, oh, that's what I've been looking for. Like, I don't know. It's nice. It's very nice. Recently that's been more in the field of like song lyrics. I've been trying to mature my songwriting a bit, so. Another quote, I think that's why they call it a breakthrough. It cracks you open and lets light in. And it's talking about like a writing breakthrough. It makes sense. I'm not sure if that's why they call it that, whoever they are, but yeah, that would add up. Okay, so and then when Eliza kind of thinks about Wallace's relationship with his family and how it may not be as good as hers, I said, kind of selfishly, but like truthfully, I hate when I feel guilty for feeling some way because someone has a worse, like we're all kind of bad because somebody has a worse and we're here complaining. So that's kind of irking that that's the case. Hello, I am editing this right now and I just had a thought. I realized that this kind of idea about like um feeling guilty about complaining because like always there's somebody else that has it worse than you. It's kind of mentioned in Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I did mention that in my video about Perks of Being a Wallflower. It was a direct quote from the book, so I'll link it right now. You can go watch that video because it discusses that a little too. Also, I just like you to watch it because I really like that video. Okay, back to the Kyler a long time ago. I'm honestly questioning if I'm even like processing everything that's happening in the book, like if I took a test on it or something. Um, yeah, it's kind of like that for everything. I think I actually mentioned it in a note later. Okay, so and then Eliza says that she likes Wallace, and I just wrote no. I just need one book where the main character and their friend don't become love interests, like especially the books that I've read for Sproutbound Speculation. That's happened so many times. The best one I feel like written, or at least that I like, I would say probably Maddie and Norris from the Field Guide to the North American Teenager. Let me name the others if I can remember. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. All the right places, yes. Violet and Finch, that happened. Symptoms of Being Human, Riley and Beck. Yes, that happened. Solo, kind of. I mean, it kind of was established that he liked her from the start, but to Blade and Joy. What did I read? Fourth? Darius the Great is not okay. Yeah, like Darius, I feel like had a crush on Sarab, so that kind of happened, but they didn't get together, which was nice. Um, Wizard of Oz. No, there's no romance in that book. Okay, Sadie, no. I'm forgetting like a few books. I feel like. Let me look. Living Simply, of course, there were no love interests because there weren't characters. Yeah, those are all the books that I've read for this channel. So, but yeah, like way too many in my opinion. It's a bit of a trope. I feel like maybe. I'm not even gonna explain the context of this, but basically Wallace offers to pick her up, and then she says no, but then she says the fact that Wallace offered is kind of nice though. And then my notes was the fact that you think this is kind of weird though, cause that's weird. Like what? That's real creepy, bud. Who wants somebody to carry them? Oh my. It's like, yeah, some of this is kind of cringe. Like, I'm not saying more right now because I know I have at least 2 notes about the relationship coming on the way, so I don't want to just repeat myself. Okay, when did I start this book? I started it on the 2nd, so it has been more than 1 week. In 3 days will be 2 weeks, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it by then. I'm going to try to finish it tomorrow. Okay, so then she says, I get the strangest urge to trace the curve of his ear with my finger. And then I say, excuse my language, but you are a creep. Because she low-key is. And I respect that. At least she doesn't deny it. But yeah, like it's cringe. It's cringe. Okay. The very next note, I literally say, ew, this is cringe. Wallace literally asks Eliza, can I kiss you? But he writes it out. It's like, oh my goodness. You do not need to be together just because they're 2 main characters. Okay, so I keep making connections between the books I'm reading for Inspired by Speculation. So after Wallace's stepdad start talking about college at the dinner table, I kind of was reminded of the Phil Guides to North American Teenager where Norris is invited to Artie's house and her parents and her kind of have a conversation about college as well. It's always the main character going to their, for lack of a better term, significant other's house. I'm saying for lack of a better term because I'm not sure, it was never confirmed that Artie and Norris were dating, so I'm not sure if significant other applies. But so, and then there's a new word that I heard from this book. It says he is much less intimidating while supine. So I'm gonna search it up now. Okay. So this means supine means. Sorry, hold on. Supine means lying face upward or failing to act or protest as a result of moral weakness or indolence. Those definitions are not alike at all. Okay, so then we randomly find out that Eliza is allergic to something because it casually mentions an EpiPen. And that's so weird, like we didn't even know it before, now it just casually mentions it, and it's probably never going to be brought up again. So is it that important that she has an EpiPen? I don't think so. Francesca, you should have just X'd that out of the story. It's irrelevant, at least from my knowledge right now. So then Eliza says that unfortunately she hasn't had an allergic reaction, and I just wrote the notes. Some of the things that she says are like really troubling to me. I had an allergic reaction about a month ago, and it was really terrible. I really hated it. My throat kind of hurt whenever I swallowed. I took the EpiPen, I went to sleep, then I started scratching, then I woke up, there were like hives all over my body. I felt really bad, really bad. I went to the hospital at 2 a.m. with my father. We stayed there until like 5 or something, and then I went to school. I decided to go to school because we had a presentation, so I couldn't. I had the option not to, but I decided to. But still, like, that was really, I did not like that experience at all. And here, Eliza is saying that unfortunately she hasn't had one, and I'm like, how dare you? That is like, what? I don't understand her logic. Like, and I'm gonna paraphrase this quote. It says, "Ideas are the non-romantic reproduction of the mind. You don't have to share them with anyone else." And I agree with that. Okay, so and then I predicted that her parents revealed her to be Lady Constellation, and the note that they wrote in the newspaper, and I was right. I was so happy. Well, not so happy, but I was happy. Let's actually see right now, in real time, how long it took me to film the last video I did for Eliza and Her Monsters, which was about chapter 1 and 10, and compare it with this time, just for the kick of it. 32 minutes for chapters 1 through 10, 36 minutes for chapters 11 through 30. So that's pretty good, kind of. Nice job. You talked faster. I don't have that much to say about this book. I don't know. It's shrug. I'm not sure if it's good or not. But the next time you'll see me, maybe when I finish the book. I don't know. I'm about 69% through. Oh, I also have a note real quick. It was really weird, but I actually kind of like it. When Eliza's bully walked up to her after finding out she was Lady Constellation and gave her back her drawing from Monstrous Sea. That was really weird, and I think that would definitely not happen, but it was cool that we found out that the bully actually reads Monstrous Sea too. But like, it's so weird, and he would never apologize. Like, it's unrealistic, I feel like. There's so many things I'm interested in. How am I ever supposed to find out what I'm going to college for? You don't care about that. Why am I mentioning that? It's interesting because I guess it's not that interesting. Like, whenever I film for these videos nowadays, I just make long videos. Like, I can never make a short video. That was different from the first few episodes in the first two of Spiralbound Speculation, where I just made short films and then I had to combine all of them. The longest clip I want to say for the first two episodes was in Symptoms of Being Human, when I transferred over to my camera. That was 25 minutes. And now I'm making 39-minute videos, and it's only covering 20 chapters of the whole entire book. So more editing for Kyler, I suppose. We'll try to have, let's say, the first 10 chapters by the end of winter break. It's a lot of work to edit these. Y'all don't know. So this will probably come out a long time after I finish filming it, because I have lots of other videos to finish filming. But something to look forward to. I may film it right now, actually. I am going to read some of a Choose Your Own Adventure book about Ellis Island. I mentioned it in Spiralbound Speculation short that I got the book and I was going to read it. I just haven't gotten a chance to. We're done. Only 13 chapters remaining. Oh my goodness, that means I'm definitely going to have to finish the book and then make a video, so we're definitely going to do that, because I'm not going to only read 10 chapters and then make a video and then read 3 chapters and then make another video. So I'll see you after I finish the book, probably. Unless something real big happens and I have to film about it immediately. Okay, bye. Eliza and Her Monsters. Clip 2, I think. Clip 3. Yeah, I think it's clip 3. Hi. This is the final video in my series for Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I finished the book today, and I'm talking about it today, which is good. I'm not sure I normally do that, but I'm glad I'm doing it today. Truth is the worst monster because it never really goes away. That sounds good. I like the word monster. Does that sound weird? I feel like Eliza's kind of a dramatic character. She said, about Wallace, he hasn't tried to call me. Why would he? I lied to him for months, and I said, please, I don't think it really matters. Like, sure, it's a lie, and he likes to comment, but if she prefers to stay anonymous, what's so wrong about that? I mean, it's her choice, it's her comic, she should choose. And I don't think he should be that annoyed, as in not to talk to her for like a long time. Like, it's just a comic. My goodness, like, I don't understand the big whoop-de-doop. I didn't understand why the character of Eliza, like, tore off everything Monstrous Sea related from her walls. Like, what? She says, I can't do it. Whatever force kept me going has vanished. Like, I don't understand. People found out. Nothing's changing besides that. Who cares that it's you that much? I mean, that shouldn't stop you from writing. I feel like I would just, like, be out with it. Say on the next thing that you post, yes, it's true, my name is Eliza Merck, nice to meet you, here's the comic. Like, I wouldn't stop everything and put everything on halt just because people found out. And I wouldn't, like, go on a hiatus like she did. So then when Church and Solly were like, hey, Eliza's comment is important. It's very popular. Why'd you do that, parents? I felt like their personalities changed way too fast. Like, they went from, like, just saying quips and being funny to, we support Eliza in every way. Like, there was no development. It was just switchy swatch. Another quote. I explain it to him. I don't know if he understands, but he listens. That's nice. To just have somebody that listens. Listening is very, very good. Okay, so then Wallace does this whole random bad monologue, and at the end says, so please, Eliza, draw the pages in italics. And I said, this is not good. In my opinion, sometimes the dialogue can't quite hack it. I'm just being an unnecessary hater. Sorry, Francesca. Like, I think there's something there, but something more than what you wrote. I wonder how it'd be to write a book again, but write it in, like, a different way and then publish it. That's probably not legal, but yeah, I know that, like, some books are in the public domain, but some aren't, and you can't just edit a book that isn't in the public domain. But that would be kind of interesting, kind of just like rewrite a whole entire book. I like the title of the book. Yeah, that's just the general thoughts. Finally, a compliment. Okay, so and then Eliza keeps calling Wallace's father by his first name, which is just Tim, and then I just wrote, try Mr. whatever his last name is. Like, that's so rude, Eliza. What are you doing? I wonder if her full name is Elizabeth, or is it Eliza? Like, I like Eliza, but not as a full name. You know? Like, Eliza from Hamilton. That's the only Eliza besides this that I've heard of, and I like that. But it's short for Elizabeth. It can't just be Eliza. I won't allow it. Okay, so then I predicted that Olivia Kane was going to read her letter, and I was right. She does later in the book. I'm wondering, okay, so the next chapter, chapter 40, there's a dialogue between Eliza and her therapist, and I'm wondering how people write therapy dialogue, like, make sure that it's realistic if they're not therapists themselves. I hope they, like, researched or whatever, but I feel like the best way may be to get an actual therapist. Maybe I'll film my closing thoughts after karate, but I'll film all the notes I wrote now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, chapter 41. I just have to go a little faster. Okay, so then it says, that thing I achieve and then refuse to celebrate. I just wrote, what a concept. You do something and you don't celebrate it. Like, why? So this was kind of funny and kind of random. Sully asked Eliza, "What's wrong with you? You look like you swallowed a tire." That was weird, but it was a good weird, I guess. Okay, so then Eliza says, "I know things are weird now for a lot of reasons." And then I wrote this note specifically in the band room this morning. And I just said, "Name two." The only reason why Wall should be mad at her is because she didn't tell him that she was Lady Constellation. Though I don't think that's a tangible reason either, but that's the only reason I can think of. And here she is saying, "I know there's a lot of reasons why things are weird now," whatever that means. So I don't get it. Okay, so and then I said this gives me Field Guide knockoff vibes because Wallace doesn't forgive Eliza, at least at first. Just like Maddie never basically forgives Norris in the Field Guide to North American Teenager, but that was done much better because they actually had chemistry and these people don't. A quote, "I'm not okay. I know that I am not okay and that there are ways for me to be okay again, but I can't wait that long." This is kind of this is a depressing line because she's considering, well, she's having suicidal ideation. Um, but I didn't realize that at the time of me reading it. But, like, yeah. I really hate that nobody can tell the future because, like, what's the point of all that you're doing if you don't understand the effects of it? Like, is anything we do worth it? Why do we do the things we do if we don't know what comes out of it? Yeah, and I also thought that Wallace was going to come and somehow find her at Wellhouse Turn, and I was right. Kyler knew it. Okay, so then they have a sweet moment, blah, 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 blah. Something. Okay, we're done. Yay! We're done with the notes. Now I can change. I have 4 minutes to change. That was cool. This was short, fairly short. Good job, Kyler. This video is getting kind of long, unedited anyway. Let's see how long it is specifically right now. It is... What's your guess? What's your guess? What's your guess? Okay, with this video added, which is about, let's say, 24 minutes, unedited, it's about 1 hour and 27 minutes, which is kind of long. 28 minutes, yeah, that's pretty long. But I'll get to it. I'll get to it somehow. I'm trying to do like a video a week. They get kind of pretty long and some are shorter than others. I'm excited for the next video I'm going to edit because I believe that's for Sadie by Corny Summers, and I love that book. That's the longest one clip that I filmed. That was 55 minutes. I think that's the longest I've ever filmed in like a sitting in a single clip. Yeah, we're done with this. We'll be back after karate for ending thoughts, closing thoughts. Bye. Alright, here we are after karate as promised. Final thoughts. Let's do it! So, if I'm giving my honest opinion, I did not like this book too much. At the beginning, it was very boring, and I feel like there were actually a couple of places during reading it where I just wanted to stop because I didn't really genuinely, honestly care about what was going to happen next. And that may be extremely blunt, but it's the truth. Where's my phone? I can also... right now, write it down. There's another finished book. If you count the Choose Your Own Adventure book that I read on Sunday and today, that means I've read 10 books through the school year, which is good. But I'm not sure I count the Choose Your Own Adventure as a full book because it's much shorter and there are way less words on a page. So Eliza and Her Monsters took me 13 days, but I am going to try to finish each book in 2 weeks instead of 1 week because I could do that at the beginning just because we didn't have that much homework because it was like the beginning of the school year. But now with schoolwork and all that boringness, I unfortunately have that as a priority now. So reading becomes less of a priority, at least pleasure reading. So yeah, I think 2 weeks is better than 1 week. Yeah, it wasn't that good. I don't know if I have any final... What are the things that I liked? Did I like anything? Okay, I liked the twins, I guess, as characters. They were funny. I liked how one of them wanted to do musical theater and were a good singer. That's nice. Anything else? I guess I kind of liked Emmy, Max, and Eliza's relationship, though I don't really because there's a big age gap between them. So yeah, never mind, scratch that. Okay, things I didn't like. Let's see, how much time do you have? It was boring. Wallace and Eliza's relationship did not seem genuine. Me actually having to read Monstrous Sea in the book was extremely boring as well. I ended up reading all of them, but I didn't really want to. The random swears sometimes, it was like there weren't that many swears, which I do appreciate, I suppose, but like when they were there, it was just random. It was just random. A lot of people recommended me this book. Well, not a lot of people, but like more than 2. So I had high expectations, and they all came crashing down. Okay. No. I don't know. I guess I liked Eliza not being like popular or not having that many friends and having like online friends. I guess that was kind of relatable, kind of new. I like the idea of having something that you write online that is popular online. Just like the delivery, the application of the idea. Kyler did not like. I don't know. I don't know. There wasn't anything I like. Nah. It's definitely the worst book I've read, hands down. But I don't know why that much. I don't know. We don't need to make this too long, Kyler. If you don't have anything to say, don't say anything. What a concept. I guess there were some lines that I liked. There were a good amount of quotes that I liked from the book. Check out previously in this video to hear of them. I would show you my favorites right now, but I returned the book to Sora, and plus I have like a million favorites, and so anyway, the next book we'll be reading is... Oh wait, it's my backpack. I'll be right back. Darius the Great is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. I read Darius the Great is Not Okay as the 4th book. Yeah, I think the 4th book that I read for Spider-Man Speculation. And now 7 books later, I'll be reading the 2nd book. I'm excited to read this. And it'll probably go fast because, yeah, not that many words on a page. Plus I'm a bit more invested into the story. Since it's a sequel, I actually want to know what's happening with Darius. Okay. Okay, the rating. I haven't told you the rating in a video that I filmed myself in a while, so I'm gonna do it. As you may remember from the end of episode 4, I said I'll be trying to do whole number ratings out of 10 for now on, just because it's easier for myself. So out of 10, I'd give this a solid, let's say 6. 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad. It was just bad. Like, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna search up what I rated Darius the Great is Not Okay, because I think Darius the Great is Not Okay is probably the second worst book that I've read, and it wasn't even that bad, so that's saying something. Okay, I said 7 out of 10 for Darius the Great is Not Okay. I may be too mean. So yeah, if I gave Darius the Great is Not Okay a 7, Eliza and Her Monsters deserves a 6 or a 5, because I did not like it. But I hope my hope is that Darius the Great deserves better, is going to be better. Maybe Darius the Great deserves a better book, and Adib Khorram will deliver. I really hope that'll be the case. So yeah, I'm so excited to read this book. I'll probably read like the first 5 or something chapters today. I'm not sure if I'll make a video every 10 chapters, like I tried to do for this video or not. We'll see. The future will tell. But I have a feeling I'm probably gonna finish this in less than 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay, goodbye. Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. We are finally done with that book. I don't think there's a sequel on its way, which I'm glad about, because I don't care about the book, the plots, the characters, the anything. That's mean, but the truth is mean. And there are monsters in the sea. See what I did there? Okay, go ahead, outro. And then I intentionally avoid being friends with them. So it's real weird. It's real weird. It's real weird. I'm aware of that. That's just Kyler.